You're a few years too late. Welcome.
Oh, thanks, Randy. Thanks, Jim. It's great being here. The tournament all week has gone terrific, and so far the guys that bowled the best have been pretty unlucky. That's Walter bowled a tremendous game last game, and just couldn't knock the 10 out.
It's hard for people watching. They don't really understand how you can say I bowled a really good 180 game.
Well, they just got done watching that. And, you know, when Danny shot those 300s, Randy, yesterday, he was on 37 and 8, 35 and 6. But it's a little bit tougher, especially lane 36. It's a little more skid flippy, and I think Ttaber, because he's going so direct, could be really tough today.
That was the same thing I was thinking. The guys that are trying to hook it are having a little bit of trouble getting the ball to the pocket consistently. We take a look at Steve Jaros for the first time. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of ball reaction he has. A little bit straighter than normal for Steve.
Well, what a terrific move by Steve. Steve likes to really go around, and he's trying to play him like Ttaber and Walter did and get the ball on top of the pocket. He's doing great.
Now, the key was that match against Tim Chris. He was up 2-0, but he's seen an 0-2 turnaround and said Tim's reaction was getting better and better, and actually Tim had a chance to make it to a 5th, didn't he?
His reaction was, Tim's reaction was getting better. Steve's was getting worse. Oh, look at the messenger come flying across. He didn't want that match to continue on to 4 and 5 games. His reaction's deteriorating.
You know, he's from, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, John.
He's from Chicago. In Chicago, they call that slamming the dime. That's the expression they use.
Well, straight and hard is the only way this guy goes. You know, the adjustments that he needs to make when he drifts high, leaving the 4-pin like he did, is not moving his feet a whole lot, just picking up his ball speed. There's one thing that Ttaber can do, and that's throwing hard.
National Hockey Night on ESPN. Wednesday night hockey presented by Nextel. The St. Louis Blues up against the Colorado Avalanche. Patrick Roy, Joe Sakic and company. The defending Stanley Cup champion Lanch. I believe it's their 301st consecutive sellout. Is that possible?
They love their hockey.
Johnny Petraglia never paid for his Jersey Devils ticket, right? You just call your buddies up there.
Well, Jim, it's really great having you here, having you in New Jersey and watching the tournament. Hope for many years to come this continues.
You never thought when I worked at Channel 10 in Philadelphia I'd make it all the way up the pike here to your bowling center.
I knew you would, Jim. Wait to tell. My cousin Steve told me you would be here.
Steve with a strike in 1 and 2. A little bit of a pressure on this man. I mean, Johnny, you can relate. It's the first time that he's been bowling really as a free agent, as he described it. He talked a little bit last night about the pressure of trying to travel with and support your family.
Oh, right. Steve had twins, and he's pretty much on his own now, and $40,000 is a lot of money, and if you've been going along just sort of getting checks and breaking even week to week, when you get your shot like this, you really want to jump on it, because one tournament can make an entire year. That's Keith Swerdloff. He's our area manager here. He runs 10 centers and does a great job. He really worked hard this whole year for this tournament.
You know, I think the biggest thing of Steve Jaros becoming a free agent is now he's got access to all the equipment out there. And there was a time where, a period of time where he had to pick and choose and weed through all of the equipment to come up with the few balls that fit his game.
Exactly. When Steve had to figure out what kind of weight block am I looking for, high differential, low differential, what's going to work the best for me, what's going to carry, it takes a long time to sort it out, and now he's got it. He's a tremendous talent. It's just a question of putting it all together.
We talked about Dave's parents watching in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. They actually started him bowling when he was about 7 years old.
He was using a 16-pounder. Pretty big guy. I think the thing that's interesting when you watch Dave Ttaber's style is that he doesn't have a whole lot of knee bend. You see the 6-pin wrapping right around the 10. Doesn't have a whole lot of knee bend, and he lofts the ball. And I think the two kind of go hand in hand. But also that loft lays his hook and really makes for a straighter shot. Well, that was the last thing that you would expect Dave to do, is miss a single pin spare.
That's really got to shake him. He usually never misses one-pin spares, hardly ever. I mean, his whole game, because he goes so direct, is based on staying clean through the whole game, and that's very unusual for him.
And the lanes being as difficult as they are to get to the pocket, you know, the one thing you want to avoid is open frames. He needs to erase that from his memory. Come on!
You know, when he's back home in Woodstock, Illinois, and practices, he has the luxury of oiling the lanes himself. Is that a help?
That's a tremendous help if you can figure out exactly what the Pro Tour is going to be like. If you can get information on the way that they're going to be doing the lanes, do them the same way, and then practice it, you can really be ready for the tour. The biggest thing now is not only bowling well, but practicing on what kind of condition you're going to have to bowl on.
I agree, Johnny. The one thing that, you know, he did do with the lane conditions, he made them real tough. He made the pattern really flat, so where there wasn't a buildup of oil in the middle to give you free hold, and there wasn't any dry boards to the right, which would give you swing. Just made the lanes flat, made him have to repeat shots and hit his target. Last shot on the right lane, he got it a little bit wide, left a 2-pin, and normally what happens 9 times out of 10, the guy compensates for that. This ball drifts high, leaves the 4-9. Chance.
Well, the scoring pace is going on very similar to the way it did all week. I thought this was really a perfect week, Randy and Jim. It was every kind of game got there. It didn't matter if you went straight, if you went around, if you were left-handed, if you were right-handed. It took about a 206 average to make that first cut, a little bit higher to make the second cut to the top 32, as it should. And then, depending on the pair you caught in match play, there were low matches, high matches. It was all there. It was really
130 of the PBA's best came here. Our host, Johnny Petraglia, great to have you here. We are live in North Brunswick. Johnny Petraglia Open, 40,000 on the line and bowling like this. Back in North Brunswick, New Jersey, the Brunswick Zone Carolier, the Johnny Petraglia Open. That's Jamie Petraglia and John Jr. with Dad right there. You think she's a Danny Wiseman fan? Her outfit matches Danny's In Fuego shirt. Well, what is David doing right?
Take a look at this. Is the most important thing. This is what makes these guys so good. Week in and week out, look at the speed control. A little hiccup right here, getting the ball a little bit wide. Other than that, some pretty good shots being thrown by Dave Ttaber. Only has one strike to show for it.
Go, Davey.
There's the reason why. Only one strike so far in 6 frames. Bad carry. Talked to a few of the players this week. They did mention the fact that they had trouble carrying the corner pins, leaving solid 9s like Dave Ttaber just did. Watch this ball. It's going to go just a shade high. It goes right by the 9-pin. That's why there's only one strike on the scoreboard for Dave Ttaber.
I like what he said about playing on similar conditions at 39, not 40 feet. He said, what's the difference? It's the same gook.
Yeah. It's the same Wesson oil rolling on out here. Right now, he's just got to find a way to strike. I mean, he's hitting the pocket. He's getting the ball to the 1-3. His entry angle into the pins is probably not what's needed right now to carry.
How about the loft on the ball? What makes that significant?
Watch this.
There you go.
Finally got a kick. What that does, Jim, is it delays the hook. When that ball's in the air, it can't hook. It's got nothing to grab. Talked about how bad his breaks were. Take a look at this break. Head pin goes to the sidewall. Comes hunting for the 10. Get out of my way.
Yeah, that was a little better.
A little self-talk from Steve Jaros, saying it was a little bit better, referring to the the way he threw that shot. Ball drifted high, still leaving the 4-pin.
Steve's out here on television. He's a little bit superstitious. I mean, he only bowls in outfits that he's been successful and bowled in before. About his footwork, well, feet don't fail me now. The Dexter feature.
My Dexter solution for this week was the number 5 horseshoe heel with the number 8 slide sole. This week I found the approaches a little bit more slippery. This combination enabled me to really control my slide. Being more of a power stroker, I rely on medium ball speed and good solid footwork to create the leverage necessary to get in and really open the lane up with the guys that hook it.
Footwork, the key to everyone's leverage. And leverage is what enables you to make good shots. Right over the second arrow. 10 in the pit.
One of the things he was talking about last night was he used so much energy to qualify. He was wondering what he would have left in the tank for the TV show.
Well, Dave Ttaber's got a little bit of the Walter deal going, where when his ball hits the pocket, it gets nothing but 9. That's a tough situation. You know, you're doing all you can. The lanes are tough. You're getting the ball to the 1-3, throwing every shot in the jar, and all you're doing is getting 9 every other shot. Or in Dave's case, every shot but 2.
Well, if you'd like to know who won the inaugural Johnny Petraglia Open back in '91, simply log on to the PBA's official website, pba.com. The site features archived tournament results from every PBA stop, along with the latest tournament standings, schedules, stats, live chat sessions, and much more. So check it out at pba.com.
Come on, Trey.
Yeah, that ball drifted high. Again, not a real good break. Even though the ball went through the face, you know, he could have caught a break and tripped the 7-pin out. Instead, he leaves himself 6, 7, 10. Dave's got to get the ball over into this position, slide the 6 over into the 7. Good try. Just caught too much of the 6-pin.
Now for Steve. That 10-pin has been a little pesky tonight.
It's glued down. Guys are doing what they're supposed to do. They're getting the ball to the pocket. 9 every ball. Figure out the tough part about this is when you try to figure out carrier, try to figure out a way to strike when your ball hits the pocket. Sometimes you lose your angle, you lose the pocket altogether, and then you fall into the trap of not even being able to hit the pocket. So right now, you take your medicine, you hit the pocket, you make 9 spare.
In Peoria, the round of 32 missed the cut just outside of Nashville. The round of 16 at Indy missed the cut in Grand Rapids, and in Taylor, Michigan, in Detroit, the round of 64. He'll be the first to tell you that he has never been the best match play bowler, huh?
Well, I always thought Steve was a pretty good match play bowler. Whether or not he thinks so, but you know, this new format is all about match play and match play situations and winning matches. And right now, he's won another, and he's going to advance to the championship round.
Well, he told us last night he didn't think he was the best match play bowler. Problem is, every time you bowl, he says you can go home, and with 2 young mouths to feed, he said there's always something to pay off. Worst he'll do this week is $20,000 at the Johnny Petraglia Open. If he wins, $40,000, the championship match. Danny Wiseman up against Steve Jaros. When we come right back live to North Brunswick. 42nd Street, that famed street in New York. Disney is right there, you bet. And all those Broadway shows, Les Miserables, David Letterman's Theater there. David and his company, Worldwide Pants, the producer of Ed, big fan of bowling, and in semifinal match.